Hello everyone, my name is Doomlink and I am currently sopping wet. Now why is it that I'm sopping wet? That's probably a pretty fair question that you have for me at this stage, but I will mention the answer to that question is actually in the title of the video, in case you haven't already worked that out for yourself. But before I go into more details about that, I would like to first and foremost tell you what it is that you're seeing on the screen right now. This is actually a 10-man group that was formed in Monster Freedom 1, where the gathering halls actually support 10 people at once. I will mention, however, you cannot see 10 people at once. You can only see the people who are in the quest that you have joined. Once you have joined a quest, that is pretty much how it works in terms of being able to see other people. I'm kind of glad that that's how they've worked it, because I have a feeling that the connection traffic would just be too much for the game to handle. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. It's a freaking old game. But either way, I guess the video that you're seeing right now, or the video content, was probably originally going to be something very different. It probably would have been me talking about Monster Hunter Freedom and just working it into a random hunts video in Monster Hunter Freedom 1, something like that. And I'd probably be very focused on the content that you're seeing right here, but instead it's going to more or less serve as a backdrop, or at least something to entertain you, as I discuss a very exciting announcement that was made by Capcom some 22 hours ago as I speak to you right now. It is currently the 11th of May 2018, soon to be crossing over into the 12th of May in Australia right now. I was basically laying in bed. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was talking to my Discord friends, sort of getting ready to go to bed, and then all of a sudden a fucking bombshell was dropped by Capcom. Hey, by the way, Generations Ultimate. All they need to do is say that, and I've basically soiled myself, okay? I've pretty much just, like, my whole world has crumbled as soon as that is said to me, because I have to tell you, and you're probably wondering, hold on, Doomlink, what's going on? Why are you getting so emotional about this? And the answer is, I have been very, very on edge lately. Like, within the last 2 months, or during the past 2 months, I have been very on edge, or at the very least uncomfortable with the current state of the Monster Hunter series. I'm very worried about the direction it's going in. I don't feel too great about World right now. I haven't been feeling too great about it for a while now. There's a reason why I haven't been playing it. The major reason was because I wanted to wait for the PC version to come out, but there was also the fact that I was really not feeling that the game was living up to my expectations. There was just, I couldn't help but miss the older games. I just couldn't help but miss it. I'm not saying that World is bad. It's just, I feel this is the sort of series, the sort of game series that needs to stick to its guns, and I personally believe that it is diverging from its traditional path a little bit too much with World, or at the very least it is posing a risk for it to continue diverging to a point where it's just not even recognisable anymore. I'm not necessarily saying that World in itself is going too far in the wrong direction away from the traditional style, but it is once again posing that possibility. It could go pretty far away, and I'm really not comfortable with that. And, you know, I did of course purchase a PS4 Pro just to play the game, and it has gone unused for, you know, pretty much a month and a half or something like that. And, you know, how do I feel about that? Not too good, but I'm feeling better about it now that Double Cross is confirmed in English. I don't really care that the name is stupid. Generations Ultimate. Who came up with that idea? It's so funny. I was actually talking to my friends a few months ago about, you know, the possibility of Double Cross coming out, and one of the funny possibilities that we, I guess, mentioned offhandedly was that, you know, maybe it's not out in English because they can't think of a good name for it, like Generations Ultimate. That sounds like shit. So maybe they've just taken the easy route and decided not to actually give it to us in English. You know, we were just sort of joking about that. And yet they come out with the name Generations Ultimate. You know, that was the one that everyone just thought, nah, they're not going to do the Ultimate gimmick this time with Generations. It sounds awful. Nah, they do it anyway. It's so funny how they made that decision, but they went ahead and did it. You know, they could have done Ultimate Generations, they could have done Generations Unite, which would have worked really well, because, you know, they're trying to tie in the older games in the series, so, you know, returning to the term Unite, which hasn't been seen since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, which was pretty much the final game in the second generation, you know, it would have worked really frickin' well, but no. You see, that requires a little thing called thought, and perhaps they're lacking a little bit of marketing prowess as well, because I don't know if the name Generations Ultimate looks or sounds very good. My immediate impression would be, the fuck is that? And it's my current impression as well, I have to tell you. But once again, my initial mentioning of the word Generations Ultimate in this, I guess, point that I'm trying to make was pretty much in relation to the fact that I didn't care, even though I'm going into details as to why I think it's fucking stupid. But the reason why I really don't care is because I just want it in English. I just want to be able to read it. I've been hearing words to the effect of the translation studio that they're working with is shit, okay? Like, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's actually going to be bad. But I really don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, a friend of mine was saying that I don't care if the monster's name is Big Bird, as long as it says Big Bird Head, Big Bird Wing, Big Bird Tail, and I don't have to look at, like, a frickin' translation sheet to know that I'm picking up Big Bird Head or Big Bird Tail. I'm happy, and I feel exactly the same way. Like, I don't care. I really couldn't give a damn. But some of the monsters' localization names that we haven't seen yet are actually coming out now. They're being confirmed. Perhaps all of them have been confirmed. I'm not too sure. I think there was one that sounded shit. People were saying that it sounded like a knockoff Marvel villain or something like that, which it does. That was my immediate impression as well, which is kind of funny. I think everyone had the same feeling. But, yeah, seriously, I don't really care. I'm not bothered at all by poor translation as long as it's superior to that of having to deal with the fact that the game's in fucking Japanese, like having to look up the kanji for all your charms, for your weapons, for your armor, for all dialogue. Every fucking word on the screen is in a language that you don't even understand. That is awful, and I experienced that with Portable Third back in 2010 when that came out. I know what it's like. It's fucking bad. And you know what? All I wanted for Double Cross was a fan translation. Even if this studio is bad, it can't be any worse than a fan translation, which is pretty much what I used for Portable Third. So I really don't think that we have too much to worry about when it comes to the translation. Once again, it's better than having to play it in Japanese. I'm very excited. Of course, there is another thing that I want to mention about this game. Actually, before I go on to that, I may as well harken back to my point on the PS4 Pro. I don't have it anymore. Today, I actually took my PS4 Pro, which is in immaculate condition, or was in immaculate condition before it left my hands. Now they can drop it off a cliff and I don't give a shit. But it was in immaculate condition, as well as my game disc, which was in the same condition. I traded it in, and I went ahead and got a Nintendo Switch brand new, with Monopoly. Yay, Monopoly for Switch. For whatever reason, they were including Monopoly with the fucking Nintendo Switch. I had to pay 98 cents more if I didn't want Monopoly. So you know what I did? I took Monopoly. That's fine. I can live with Monopoly. Whether or not I play it remains to be seen. You never know. Maybe you'll see a fucking Monopoly video series. Once again, I joke. Well, once again, I say. I'm telling you I'm joking when I say that. I'm not going to start recording Monopoly videos. I'm not going to go, hey guys, I was going to buy Generations Ultimate, but this Monopoly game's fucking great. No, you're not going to get any of that. Don't worry about it. But, yeah. I have a Switch now, officially. I'm going to pre-order the game once it is available to pre-order. That's happening. Bam, we are ready to go. But another thing that I wanted to address was the fact that the Nintendo Switch is the exclusive game system for Generations Ultimate, and what that means is that we might actually get a better looking game than Double Cross, because of course Double Cross was a 3DS port to a stationary console. So don't you think it would be very strange for them to give us a 3DS port, but not the original game for the 3DS? That would be a very strange decision for them to make if they weren't actually completely upscaling the graphics, like completely, or, you know, perhaps upscaling is the wrong word. This isn't really my area of knowledge, to be fair, but actually reworking the game so that it is in full HD. It is pretty much completely optimized for the Switch from the ground up. It is no longer just a standard port. I knocked my boom stand there, actually. I don't want to molest your ears, but I think I just did. But yeah, just something from the ground up that is designed to be on the Switch, not just a standard port. I think that might be what we're getting if it is on the Switch only and not on the 3DS. And once again, people are going, why is it on the 3DS? And I go, can you eat a cock? I couldn't give half of a shit if they take every single copy of the 3DS Monster Hunters and burned them all, okay? I don't want to hear or know about the 3DS anymore. It has been so many years since I last purchased a traditional Monster Hunter game, and it's pretty frightening that I can refer to Double Cross as traditional, but that's what World has done. It has made Double Cross a traditional Monster Hunter. That's fucking scary, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, it has been several years, not since mid-2013, since I last bought a stationary Monster Hunter game, and this is the time. It is finally coming. I will be able to enjoy Monster Hunter again, finally. I cannot stress enough how sick I was of the 3DS Monster Hunter games. That was the whole reason why I was just losing my interest in the series rapidly with every single year that followed after Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate came out. Every single year my interest was plummeting. And then I found a group of people who were playing Monster Hunter World when it was coming out, and also playing the other Monster Hunter games. Playing with a group makes it really interesting and fun again, and so I decided to give World a shot. I was thinking, maybe it'll be fucking great. Awesome reviews for the game from Japanese reviewers and whoever else before the game was coming out. I went all in. I bought a PS4 Pro, played the game. It's not a bad game, it's just that it makes me miss the original series that I have grown to love. I'm sorry. So I'm just very glad to have an excuse to not touch World anymore, and I really don't think I'm going to give it any time of day. It's not going to be given time of day or night, or, it's not going to be relevant to me at all. It's seriously reaching that point. I don't think I'm going to touch it. I don't have the time for it. I have so many other Monster Hunter games that I'm playing lately, if hunting with friends hasn't been enough of an indication of that fact. And I just... once Double Cross comes out in English, fuck me, as if I'm going to touch World. Why would I? I want my traditional Monster Hunter on a stationary console. This is what I have been waiting for. I wanted 4 Ultimate on a stationary console from day one. I wanted Generations on a stationary console from day one. We got Double Cross, or at least the Monster Hunter series received Double Cross from Capcom, only to be in Japanese. Until now, the time has come for me to enjoy this series again, genuinely, without trying to force it, without trying to go with the flow and fucking crossing my fingers that I'm going to enjoy it again. For real now, I'm going to be having fun again, and I'm ready to start having some fun, I'll tell you what. Either way, that's about it for this video, guys. I really don't have much more video content left here to, I guess, continue this, but it's good to keep things concise, I think. Soon, when this game comes out, you will see plenty of video content of it from me, as well as other Monster Hunter games. Hopefully, I would like to continue that uploading of Hunting with Friends. It might drop off a little bit in the months leading up to Double Cross's release in English, simply because we'll be playing Generations a lot more in preparation, and I can't record Generations, so I apologise for that. But stay tuned for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And, of course, reaction to the name, not the game itself, don't worry. And either way, I will see you later. It is once again the 11th of May as I'm recording this, and I thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.